Hello everybody, welcome back as ever to Building Blocks here in, well, it seems like a hellscape right now, so I'll just leave it at that for the most part. Tonight, we are mostly just going to be going small, kind of dominantly aesthetic kind of stuff. For the reason that it's simple, straightforward, and soothing and calm. So, yeah, I figure we probably all need that right now, so, yeah. That includes things like completing whale textures, or modeling the changeling eggs at long last, because Lord knows I haven't done that yet. And there's maybe one little other thing I'd like to try and experiment with. I'm not 100% certain if we'll get that part done, but we're gonna try. But yeah, hope you all are being decently, like, safe and cozy right now, because it's a rough time to say the least. Oh boy. But anyways, last time, we, instead of actually coding on stream, we did a little bit of work looking through Minecraft Dungeons, which is a really fun game, it turns out, and also has a few things that I did not, in fact, manage to scrub out of the trailer. So, for instance, these... I'm not 100% certain what they're meant to be in Minecraft Dungeons, but I think they're meant to be spider eggs. But I think they're actually a pretty decent, like, visual inspiration for changeling eggs. I think these would work quite nicely. They've got nice kind of green at the bottom, which could be the creep, that kind of thing. Lovely. Then there's these crystals, which I would love to encounter inside of, like, cave systems. That'd be gorgeous. Just, like, ooh, light up the place. They don't seem to have too much in the way of different models. They appear to be mostly as rotated or shifted down, that kind of thing. They could be fairly easy to do. But yeah, there's the first thing, more or less, that we're going to be working on today. And I don't think it's going to end up looking quite like that, but it'll be probably quite similar. So, let's hop over to VO blocks, because we're going to need that open. And I believe I have some eggs. There you are. No? Diamonds? Where have eggs gone? Eggs. There they are. Egg roulette, egg cobalt, egg changeling is our new one then. Let them be silk touchable, the crystals or the eggs? Because one of those being silk touchable has a much different implication. This also means that we're going to have to actually add in the code that makes changelings ageable, so we can have kitty changelings, that kind of thing. Don't know if we'll accomplish that, but something like it, certainly. So let's see, we want the name to be egg changeling. Are they called alpacas or llamas in Minecraft? I believe they're officially referred to as llamas. And let's see, what's a... I think slime probably is like the thing for this, but we need a different material. What material is slime, actually, for that matter? Clay, turns out. Who'da thunk it? Okay, properties of the egg. Just has a variant in it. I don't think that's even used by very much, but it's there, just in case we needed it. Is that used by anything? Turns out no, currently, but... Ah, wait, no, normal or inert, that's what they're used for. Of course. So there's the ones that are actually going to hatch, and there's the ones that are going to hickle. And they also fall, but I don't know if we'll actually be needing that. Okay, and to there. All that work making branches and now you're hiding it in leaves. Yeah, that tends to be the case. Imagine how the trees feel. Okay, new tile entity egg changeling from tile entity egg. And now we have all of these things. Now we don't need to actually have them in a registry, so these can just be basically empty. Making a tree that's real big to live in. Ooh, enjoy. Tree houses in Minecraft could be really fun. Okay, so 3 major values that we need. How long it takes to actually hatch. If you know, like how far along that route it is. And the actual hatchling itself, which for us is just going to be new entity changeling. Which I don't think is the abstract one. No. Good. Okay. Now let's have a look at the eggs for kobolds, because I think those will be fairly decent representations here. Initial hatch time is 20 minutes. Hatching time, the time it takes from start to finish of cracking, that's the one, is 1 minute. Those are pretty decent values. Let's stick with those. That's pretty similar to, like, creatures growing up kind of thing. Shame you can't make a Tabaran tree sized? I don't know what Tabaran trees are. So, terraforming in vanilla is painful, only if you don't have access to commands. And sometimes even then, admittedly. Okay. Block egg changeling, return, new tile entity egg changeling. Oh, Milo lore, okay. Noted. And because it's a hive block, we need to actually have it extend. Just so that the system actually fully understands what it is. Okay. And there's a bit more we'd like to add here just to make it actually properly blend in. So if we go to hive, block, hive, we need these properties. Now, the one we probably don't need is down. We can just assume down because there's no other place you could possibly have it be put, that kind of thing. So we can just deal with those. And I think creep's a good place to find that. So let's see. There. So here we're just really adding stuff to make sure that it actually knows how it should look. These should all pretty much just be nulls. Or falses, to be exact, by default. Yeah. Just 100 bits per. Usually there's a pun tied to that. Been lurking, been watching 2 things at once. Oh. Okay, state from meta and meta from state should be identical to what we get just inside of block egg. So just, yeah, that. Whereas get actual state we pretty much want to borrow from the creep so that we know the sides. Floating, we don't need to know.
A woo.
Hey Nick, how you doing? Okay, so that should give us all the values that we need. We just need to actually set some defaults here. So set default state, get default state.
Me.
With weapon. Hi Alan, as well. Yeah. Let me see, so we want north, false, and east, false, and south, false, and actually up should never be there either, because these shouldn't ever spawn in places that there's a block above. I guess theoretically they could be afterwards, but we'll presume that up is also false all the time. So down always true, up always false. Okay, down to here, block states. Where is hive creep? There you in fact, let's get hive nest. Okay. Because hive nest similarly presumes that that's always the case. So north, south, west, east, good, and a downward model that is just sort of always there. We can get rid of that for the moment at the very least. Okay. And now we need... let's see, no, it would be hive room behavior, I think. Yep, there you are. For hatcheries. Because now we need to actually tally up both the positions of nests as well as the positions of eggs where there are nests. Because they should be basically the same thing, but... So you're actually awake, you were actually awake enough to go over my code. L? Resubmission won't be till next week because Twitch is silly. Okay, cool, don't worry about it. Yee!
Happy Pride. A woo.
Yeah. Let's see, let's get ourselves an int. Tally nests. So let's see, the current thing it just does is that. So yeah, it just gets the nest blocks, but we also wanted to factor in how many eggs are already there. So let's see, return that plus, I guess we call these egg. There. Okay. Now there's a slight thing to consider here, which is that when the egg hatches, it'll just be gone. It'll just be air there. It won't actually place creep or anything. We actually theoretically want to actually just put a nest there. But for right now, it's fine. What do I call that? Tiny nests. There. And yep, that should all be good. The only thing otherwise is dismantling. We theoretically want to get rid of all of the eggs for at least for right now. Dismantling is not going to be nearly as destructive as it is here. It's just for debugging more than anything else. Okay. So now the hatchery actually knows about the egg. So it shouldn't try to override it, nor basically think it needs to add more nests every time an egg gets grew. Okay, and we also have a basic start to an actual changeling egg here. And so we just need to do a little bit, quick bit more here, because adding it to the listings here doesn't actually cause it to happen. And we probably do want an item. Because if we don't have an item, then there's no point having the inert changeling eggs. And then we also need to register. The tile entity, or else they'll never hatch at all. Which would be rather tragic for the hive, I imagine. If they had a concept of, like, old age, at the very least, or disease. Disease could be a fun thing to add in. I say fun, it will make people suffer, but it'd be entertaining. Okay. Should be about ready to boot. Let me just refresh that to be on the safe side, and off we go. What's my favorite bit of stuff to code? Good question. I'm not really sure. I would say stuff that you can see happening. Like, not so much visuals like graphics, because I suck at graphics and I hate graphics, but systems, I think. Systems that make things interact in interesting ways. Disease is an endgame consequence? That's an idea. Like, I just have an entire... But then on the other hand, though, that would mean I would need an entire disease system that only turns on from an endgame consequence. Although, in hindsight, that's probably exactly what the hives are. They only turn up once you hit an endgame consequence anyways, so I guess you could theoretically say that. Cloud cows go whoop, yeah. Plagues make the 7 plagues. Oh no. I mean, I guess I could have a plague that just, like, increments through the list of them as you, like, increase its intensity. Do we have any troubles there? Doesn't look like it. Very good. So, Hive 2 is our main testing for this kind of stuff. Like, you start at Locust or whatever it is, and then you end at, like, Death of the Firstborn. Although I'm not sure how Death of the Firstborn would work as an ongoing thing. Right. So here we have a number of hatcheries, so let's just try replacing one. So that would be Varroed Egg Changeling. And yep, we have Egg Changeling right there. It has its downward, it does not have a top, and it does not appear to have sides, which is fine. Let's try changing that one, see if it does the same thing. Perfect, yep, so it's kept its siding. Ish, it seems. Interesting. I wonder how it's... I guess because it's not counting itself as being transparent. I think. That might be it. Well, we can fix that relatively easily. Am I stuck? Oh, right. I'm stuck on the egg I just placed. Because it has a complete, bounding box. Death of the Firstborn takes a whole heart of health. Do people even still use Leet Speak? I think only ironically. I hope only ironically. Perhaps would be a better way of putting that. But okay, right. Now it needs an actual full-blown thing. So for that, we need to actually start modeling. So let's see there. And while that's booting up, I will... never mind. While it's being up, I'll quickly check here to see is opaque and is full. There you are. Which I think should mean we actually get the right textures. It's perfectly fine to steal your own code. Just basically what I'm doing here. Just reusing it. Okay. Right. So, hair looks off. It has been very freshly cleaned. Like, literally moments before going live. Still needs very much a trim, but here I am. Okay, so there's our inspiration. I'm just gonna have that off to the side while I'm working on this. And it looks pretty dull on a central scale, on a central level here. Let's just import the nest so we can actually make these things look properly like they are remotely related. So let's see, we want hive nest. There you are. Okay. So yep, there's what the nest looks like when it's unoccupied, give or take. What is the texture used for that? Hive creep Y. Okay. Textures block. There. Okay. So that's what the nest looks like currently. Now, we could pretty much just put like something in here. So that would be something as simple as that. But that looks kind of dull to me, so I think we need to add a little bit more to it than that. A bit more pizzazz, as it were. We could also theoretically change this to just being one shape rather than like all four up here, but if we do that we might introduce some inconsistency, which wouldn't necessarily be too bad.
My spot.
Are you guys fighting over that? With pride bits, no less? Guys, honestly. Like children, sometimes. There we go. So there will be some inconsistency, but that's kind of okay for us. So now we just need to figure out the egg. How do we want to model this egg in a way that looks good and creepy? Your only child late at night. That still counts. Thinner on the top? I'm not really sure. He means... Maybe it'd be interesting to give it like a stalk, like it's some kind of flower. So sort of something a little bit more like that, maybe. Could have a stalk join at the top of it so it's kind of hanging. I think some kind of like cradle. Like there's here we've got like the grassy pieces that are just sort of coming up over the sides, so that might work nicely. So you sort of have something like that, and then we can turn off the upper piece. Or we could just have it as like 4 different things if we wanted to. There's also nothing that says that we need to keep this at 90-degree angles like this, so we could just turn it 45 or something. So let's see, rotation there. Oop, wrong angle. Well, wrong axis, I should say. How big is a block? Just have to give ourselves a reference here. Yeah, that'd be pretty large. Make it squares? We're essentially trying to make an egg flower here, I guess. Let's see, I should have a texture I can use for this, hang on. Oh, it's animated, which this doesn't like at all. So for right now, say Shroud of the Braziers, I guess, will do the trick. Ain't perfect, but it'll do for the moment. Monkey Brain says make it fit nice. Monkey Brain wants satisfying edge. Like that magical girl anime. What's it called? Madoka Magica. I think that's really cute. I want to do that. That still seems a little relatively underwhelming to me. Let me see if I can't draw an additional influence. Yeah.
Contract.
I mean, there is a like there is an item for that. We have an item for that.
No contract.
Yes, but that's the life that we're living right now, yes. Trying to not contract anything. If you hadn't guessed, I am looking at xenomorph eggs right now. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I literally have... I have xenomorph eggs at home. Hang on, 1 second here. Crash manual. Of course I have these. Why wouldn't I? So yeah, if you don't remember, I got gifted these way back when. And they are literally small xenomorph eggs. Bit of an ominous thing to hear, to enter hearing I have xenomorph eggs at home and lying disappearing. They're in an egg carton? Yes, of course they are. And they look exactly as terrifying as you'd think they would. So yeah, I have actual eggs that I could theoretically use as reference here. They're a lot more like the actual xenomorphs are a lot darker and more ominous and Giegerian, I guess, than the changelings are actually meant to be. But like the changelings are very nature inspired, that kind of thing. But yes, I have legs with little changelings. Oh, they legs with little changelings. The legs with little Facebook hookers in them. So, yeah. Carol, if you mind watching the eggs for me. Thank you. So, with that... Let's see, safe handling instructions. To prevent infestation or impregnation, keep all living organisms away from the eggs. Discard broken, cracked, or open eggs and run far, far away. Some eggs can contain facehuggers, which are most certainly bad for your health. Do not look directly into the eggs. When Fuzz face-hugged Lang's nose, that has a lot of terrifying implications. Just as a concept. I really want to make the... I really want to make the actual egg texture glow. Like, they probably don't like this color, but the fact that these are, like, glowing in the dark here. Like, oh, I love that. That's a beautiful visual. And it really makes it happen. It really makes it look way more significant. It makes them pop visually. So if you see a lot of them, it's like, oh, snap. Xenomorph, but they're the size of chickens. The AVP mod has probably done that, honestly. Not necessarily very well, but done it. Okay, so... yeah, I need to figure out how to make that glow. But anyways, let's give that a basic texture for right now. It's a decent thing here that we can just use. There, that'll do. Probably don't need the down section here, considering. So that's a face we don't need to worry about. Okay, let's export that. And then over here, just refresh that right there. here, we can also include it as an actual item. Okay. Let's just refresh all of that. Hop back into here, and we should be able to see something. Just gotta wait for everything to reload here. Well, no, it has when people start moving and especially that starts spinning. Surprised they haven't done an Alien Isolation update slash HD update slash remastered edition. That would be entertaining, wouldn't it? Okay, it has some problems with texturing, evidently. But it's there. We have a look at that. Oh yeah, I see where I had that problem. Ooh, and there is apparently some lag going on as well. Oh, it's because the Rift Interior is calculating the volume. Need to remember that that's a thing. Been 6 years since Alien Isolation was released? Really? I suppose I was living in a whole different, like, abode by that point, so that shouldn't surprise me too heavily. Almost 6 years, I mean, still. Wow. So what is your problem with that thing? You were doing Witch in the Woods alongside AI, which is how I know it's been around 6 years, because Witch in the Woods was done in 2014. Now I feel old. Okay, there we go. Now if we reboot the whole thing, then we should be able to actually see them be transparent and everything. In theory, those are already ticking. Hey Lance, how you doing? There we go, transparency added. So that is a start on our eggs. And theoretically, if we wait around for like 20 minutes, they'll start hatching. And then they'll just spawn an entire fully grown changeling, which is an Earth, which is like maybe the next thing that we fix. But first up, I want to change that sort of shrouding texture, and then we want to actually come up with a way to make that interior glow. And only that interior. Hang on, wait. Oh boy, something's happening. Dang it. I support your rights, but please don't. Evidently, this is my, like... this little thing takes me to spawn. Well, takes me to 0-0. Why do I have so much lag here? What is going on there? Many update packets is what's happening. Okay. Yeah, we've got definite problems here, that's for sure. But that evidently only happens if I'm way beyond rendering distance. Can I visit Baby Trans when I can move again? Oh boy, I think my FPS right now will be measured in fractions. Yeah, let's just... yeah, still going there. Okay. Just gonna remove that for the moment. Voice, which has a distinct, tolerant chastisement voice they use for children. Do I? Oh, hello. How are you? Who else we got? Oh, we got an ace. Hello. An ace in the hive, as the case may be. Yeah, this model I think needs significant overhauling. It does what it was supposed to, but it doesn't look. What it's supposed to didn't come out quite right, I think. Get back in your vents, sir. Yeah. But yeah, let's have a quick visit to Baby Trans, shall we? Can I have the changelings have flag? What? Oh, you like let the changelings hold flags as well? Hello, Baby Trans. How you doing? We've known about you for at least a year now. Imagine that. Actually, what is Chell? There's a question. What is Chell? Chell is just supportive of the LGBTs. Okay, that's fair. That's valid. But yeah, if you were unaware, Various Oddities does have flags. I think they're a hidden item. No? Opposites. Let me see if I can remember what it's called. Held flag, there we are. So, they're just there. They have 0 attack damage, infinite durability. You cannot injure somebody using these flags. But during the month of June, which is Pride Month, usually, all of the changelings hold flags generated according to their UUID. So if you have the same changeling for multiple years, they're always holding the same flag, that kind of thing. Rainbow flag represents all the LGBT community. There's also the inclusivity flag, which includes like the black community and such. There's a limit to how much detail I can put in these pixels, though, unfortunately. So, yeah. The intersectional flag, I believe that one's called. But yeah, so if we change the data value, we can get the gay flag, for instance. And these are just props. They're not really meant to be used for anything, but they're there. And just, we have so many. Yeah, there's also a limit to how, like, high up I can go in the values. Theoretically 16 flags is the max I can have before I start changing that to something else. 4K textured flags, when that would just look strange, I think. Yeah. It's just it's a nice little detail. And boy did 4chan hate it when I added this. I'm well aware there were threads on 4chan about various oddities, and people in those threads were very unhappy when I started putting my politics into a Minecraft mod. Suck it. In short. But okay, so. Also use a little memory? Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. We could get larger larger than 16 by 16, but also, probably not 4K. Alright, so, next job. See if we can make the egg part of the changeling egg block, glow. And specifically just that part. Now that, I think, might only be doable by having a separate part in the tile entity renderer and having it render without lighting. Which we can do. That's not impossible, that's actually quite straightforward. So then the actual, like, egg model doesn't actually have the egg, it just has, like, the nest and the, like, bounding. That'd be it. Wouldn't it be happy birthday now for baby trans? Yeah, it would be. Although I guess technically speaking, since they became a zombie, that would make it, like, coming out day more than birthday. But okay, so, for that, we're going to need to go to the client renderer. Tile entity. Tile entity egg changeling renderer. Whoop, would help if I spelled it properly. Been working on various oddities for 2 years, since 2018, yeah. And in those 2 years, we have achieved 89,193 downloads. And many more from people who just downloaded like version 4 and put it onto redistribution sites. Not bitter about that at all. Okay, so we need a render function in here. Also a surprisingly large number of people who made, like, videos about various oddities, not the least bit understanding what it was about. So they would just, like, spam the eggs around and then kill the creatures before they had any chance to do anything. Like, you're missing so much of the point of this. But anyways. Okay. So, let me see, block colors aren't going to make things glow in the dark, so the next thing we need is an actual block, which needs to be basically non-existent. Which, thankfully, I've already had to do a couple of times. So, for instance, there's, let's see, there's the arms for, like, the mixer, I believe. Yeah, mixer, decorative, mixer, that's, where are the mixer arms? There's a question. There you are. So yeah, these are all just, like, used as holders. They exist, and you can make them, but, well, you can't make them in game, but you can, like, render them, they exist, that kind of thing. You can theoretically spawn them in, but they don't actually have items or anything. They're not meant to be actually used that way. Anyways, I'll see you all in 10 minutes. And welcome back, everybody. So a quick bit of code here to just actually make this render a block at the position should mean that we actually get our egg. So the next thing to see is, has it worked? Which is, who knows? Who knows? Benefits of this is we can also theoretically make the eggs animated, like we can have them bob up and down, for instance. Or shake occasionally, should we wish. Sorry, I'm just hearing weird things on the other side of a wall, and I'm not sure if it's the one behind me or elsewhere. Okay, let's see what that's done for us. Probably help if I'd been in the right room, but it's fine. Okay, so we do indeed have our egg. And we do indeed have our textures on the side. Very good. Strong, firm progress right there. So the next thing to do is to make them actually do stuff. Apologies to anybody particularly invested in these eggs, because we're going to be breaking a lot of them. So in order to make them actually glow in the dark... do I have anything that renders something that glows in the dark? There's the question for you. This is graphics programming. I hate graphics programming. So, ew. Obvious answer is just to turn off the lights. Glow mushroom? Glow mushrooms actually have lights, is why they glow in the dark. Like, there's no talent to the glow mushrooms, they're just actually a light source. Glowy no texture block. Ooh, there's a point, yeah. Well, I might have changed that as well. Yeah, we don't have a talenting missing block. Rifts don't render any kind of block. Player sensors, maybe? Nope. I suppose the heart. The heart might be it. But I think the heart's also a light source. The really easy way to make something glow in the dark is to make it actually glow in the dark. Unfortunately. Played Dungeons yet? Yes, I have. That's where I got this screenshot. That I'm using as inspiration. But yes, we played that last week. That is up on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. Yeah, I'm mostly playing a Souls build at this point, so... I kill a whole ton of things with a machine gun in the form of a crossbow, and then I just use that to murder more things or just prevent myself from dying. Which happens a fair bit, it has to be said. This is really old code, and I probably need to rewrite that at some point, but yeah, for right now. Been around with schoolwork, so I haven't had time to be around in much in any of your usual lurk/normal streams. Oh, have it a bit nicer at the moment. I mean, find your joys right now. I think, like if there's something you can do that keeps you happy right now, find it. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just gonna try something. No idea if this will work. We'll find out. Who knows, maybe we'll even get lucky and the code will just update whilst we have it open still. Which used to be the norm, but not so much anymore. that's very normal. Let me just grab... This should hopefully be inert. Nope, apparently not. Okay, fine. So let's see, time set 16,000. Nope, that hasn't done the trick. Can we think of any block that ordinarily is? Yeah, my code's not updating, so I gotta reset. So it's not that. I have a sneaking suspicion that it will actually render it regardless in that fashion. Like if there was a place to just like render the model, ignore lighting in here. Let's see, what values we got here? We have the model, we have something red, green, and blue. Can we just render model? That's the question. Let's find out. Pistons apparently do. But we know pistons don't glow in the dark, so that's not helpful to us. Falling blocks might. And they even disable lighting. Do falling blocks glow in the dark? I distinctly do not recall falling blocks glowing in the dark. Being incredibly soft today, bro? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, forestry hives glow in the dark, but that's not vanilla. I mean, I can check forestry hives, but if I had to take a wild guess, then they probably just have a low level of light to them. Obviously, we can't do that because we're trying to make this a specific portion of a block glow. That said, I will quickly check their GitHub. Nobody ever sorts this stuff the same way, do they? Not seeing anything about hive. Actually, not seeing anything about hives in general. I'm in the 112. Interesting. Magma only has bits of the block that glow. I think that's just the texture. I have registry, inventory, config, block beehives. Has a low level light. Yeah. Can I not do that? No. But yeah, that's how magma blocks do it. They just have a very low level of light to them that is so small that it can't actually reach further than the actual block itself, and then a relatively dark texture. It is all one texture, which is the way it works. Prismarine slowly changes color. That's light-ish. No, that's an animated texture. Unfortunately. But we're trying to get a specific portion of a full block to actually render different lights. What am I trying to do, lads? We've got a block, which is our nest, and in that we have an egg. We want the egg specifically to glow in the dark, not the entire nest. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. And the trouble is, I flunked graphics programming so hard. So hard. Haven't picked an easy task? I have, it's just not an easy one to guess the solution to. Because I'm terrible at graphics programming. But let's just see if the switching off the blend helps. Basically, my first guess on how to make this work is that we have it as two separate models that we render differently. So we have the basic one, which is the actual block itself, and then we have the egg model that we render in the tilings to render. Okay, that has not functioned. Do you want just do you just want the egg to have a lighter texture? I want the egg texture to ignore lighting conditions. I want it to always be full bright. But I'm an AI guy, not a graphics guy. Okay, how CTM does its full bright stuff? CTM? Hey Morbits, how you doing? Okay, Connected Textures mod, is that the one you mean? Okay. It is dreadfully helpful when people put their mod source on GitHub so that I can check it quickly. He said, as somebody who definitely does not do that a lot of the time and probably should. Okay, I don't see much for rendering here. Problem is, Connected Textures mod is not really meant to do the thing. Like, I'm trying to get one talent to do it, whereas CTM is an overhaul, essentially. Did Hacknet pique my interest? I don't recall. Because my memory is also milk, as you put it. Seeing some results from Quark that might maybe be what I'm looking for. Like, at this point I'm just literally googling Minecraft glow-in-the-dark blocks mod. Two old fuzzballs with milk memory? Yeah. Oh, hey. Chicken rooster wattle. I would have called that a cockatrice, but okay. What we're looking for here is just a block where one portion of the model doesn't care about light. And ideally a block that doesn't also just glow softly, and everything else is dark, which is what magma blocks do. Let's see, where are you? That is about the only example I can see here, so let's give that a look. Does have code for 112, good. Not seeing anything for the client here. Let's see, ruby ore. No light level in the ruby ore. That's good. But I don't see any lighting here. Or even all that much, actually. Interesting. Lying does code, so it's hard to find coding names that you'd actually know. Fair, yeah, they tend to be very, how should I put this, low level. Which is a bit like saying, hey, you're a calculus student, aren't you? Here's some, like, times tables to fill out. It's relatively difficult to make that entertaining for very long. Probably doing custom model stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's glowing ruby ores right there under model loader. Dang. Thing is, I'm actually not even seeing anything in here that might refer to the lighting, which is entertaining. Ruby ore glow. Hello. That's a start. Brightness. Right there. Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunately deeper than I'm trying to go here. That's the kind of thing where you do... That's the kind of thing you do if you have like 6 or 7 blocks that'll do this. Custom model, that kind of stuff. Not something I can really handle. Glow in the dark ore. Oh boy. That's no thank you. Actually, let's... That raised a point, actually. Let's take a look at render spider. Because spider eyes glow in the dark. So if we just take a look at what's going on with that, maybe we'll find out how to do this. Set light map on the spider renderer. Light texture coordinates. Okay, that might help. Well, we're gonna try this, and can't say as I'm much optimistic here, but we'll find out, I guess. Hacknet has done a pretty accurate job of displaying what hacking is. Yeah, the aspects of that, I definitely agree with you. I predict this is going to break something. Well, let's find out. I predict it's going to break the light map on everything else, but let's find out. Oh hey, we're actually getting close. Also, I might want to use this for the actual, like, storages, because that's actually very close. So now the only problem is that it's transparent. But yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. I should use that for the storages. That looks good. Be entertained to find a game that scares me that isn't jump scare or relying on phobias, which would be actual what I would describe roughly as true fear. And believe me, if you can find that, I've been looking at it, and I've been looking for that for decades. Hey, shut up. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how to make it not be transparent. Okay, well, it's not reacting to me right now, so I need to actually reboot it. Just got paid? Nay, congrats! So let's turn off the alpha tinkering. Let's also the color here. Because yeah, the spider eyes are semi-transparent when they go through that. This is very much me tossing things at a wall, by the by, because graphics programming is not the least bit my forte. Do I know what actually might scare me that isn't phobia-based? No. If I knew that, I probably would have found it by now. Like, not to make myself out as being like some, like, absurdly odd mate kind of guy. But I have very, like, selective standards about horror. And things that rely on phobias, I disallow because they're not actually trying to be scary, they're just doing something that is causing scare. And jump scares I also don't like for similar reasons, because they're not actually scary, when a jump scare gets you, so to speak, when it makes you jump, you're not scared, it's just a rapid change in environmental perception, which you have a built-in survival instinct to flinch from. That's not scaring. That's the thing that just moved out the corner of my eye might be a tiger. I should maybe move away from it. That kind of thing. Jump scares are a startle response. Yes, that's the exact thing, not a fear response. I should remember this code for sure. Jeez. Okay, so it's not the alpha part that's working there. I know there was a movie that you said, do not watch this. Possibly Audition. Or The Audition, if you have to look it up. Which is a good movie, but it sort of takes one distinct thing and does it exceedingly well. Eye horror, for instance. Or eye trauma, I guess I should say. So, like, yeah, be careful with that one. Okay, can we figure out what part of this is causing... We can... Fortunately, it doesn't appear to have broken anything else that we've noticed anyways so far. But we do need to figure out what part of it is causing to be transparent. Because if we can get rid of that, then we have a block that's actually glowing in the dark. If we turn off the blend parts there, and we just set the light map coordinates, is squick a fear response? No, it's a disgust response, usually. Squick is being grossed out, in short. So it doesn't quite qualify at the same level. So if I think fear doesn't necessarily have to be irrational. Like, you can be afraid of Jason Voorhees, for instance. Which, if you live in a universe that happens to have Jason Voorhees, and maybe happen to live near Camp Crystal Lake, that's a perfectly legitimate like thing to be afraid of. Fear is the thing that makes like the hairs on your neck stand up, that kind of thing. It's the thing that makes you grip the sofa, the like sofa cushions and such. And honestly, I have trouble finding anything that does that. Okay, well it's opaque now. Is it the same brightness? Yes! Okay. That might also be that it's just very dark, but that could just be the number. But yeah, that does not change in brightness, no matter the ambient conditions. Okay, right. Jason can't hurt you just for a syntax error at him or a trailing comma. Lance, I know the joke you're making. But okay, we fixed that up. Great, now we just need to figure out what value to give it. And my first instinct is to say the max value of an integer. See what that does. But somebody tells me this is not the equivalent of bigger number make brighter. This could be entertaining to see. Nope, that's actually made it darker. But we can see it is actually like opaque and also not reacting to ambient light, which is very good. That's what we're looking for. We just need to give it the right number for the light value now, I guess. So if we say -1, that's probably gonna break something at a guess. You get instant goosebumps? Yeah, that's a fear response. Like your heart beats up, your heart speeds up, you get a cold sweat, those sorts of things are fear responses. Not panic responses. Which I can semi-understand how people get them confused, but... Yeah, I'm a horror nerd. I have very exacting standards about horror movies. Nope, that's even darker somehow. Interesting. I could really do with this thing reacting to my changes, and we'd be getting through this so much faster. Palette responses is what you get when you see a spider. Yeah, that's phobias. Phobias are, in addition to not necessarily being, like, actual fear, are also straight up just, like, lazy, I guess would be the phrase for me. Like, if you know that somebody is, like, arachnophobic, like me, then shove a bunch of spiders in the room and they're gonna be scared. Like, it's lazy to me. It's like, you're not really trying to be, like, scary there, you just are. Just... So we know that changing the I value does alter it. What we don't know is to what we have to change it. Well, let's take a to-do on that. Why is 64-bit Java such a pain to get on Windows 10? Compatibilities and such, essentially. Short list. Another thing we need to do is actually make it so that when the egg hatches, it places a nest. Because I don't think we have an on-hatch kind of thing here. Let's see, that's all falling. There's the breaking. Which I think is handed predominantly by the tile entity egg. Hatch egg. Okay, that's a start. Yeah, there we are. Destroy block. No. My snoot, it has been booped. Okay, so we just leave that to the actual egg block. So now, block egg changeling can turn it into a nest. There. That should be fine now, as long as that actually tells me that it's overriding it properly. Which I think it is. Okay, so barring making it actually glow as opposed to what it is currently, then that should be good to go. Okay. So that gives us changeling eggs. Yay. Next. We've got a bunch of textures to do. Mostly for whales. Because there's all these different whales, and we only have the one texture, which I think is the blue whale. Which means that about 75% of whales end up being just unrecognized textures. I thought we have the whale skeleton in here too. I feel like whale skeletons should sort of resemble the, like, dragon skeletons from RL Craft, but they don't look great. They don't look great. 75 unique viewers is almost impossible to get unless you get front page. Yep! You're not wrong. But fortunately, you don't need to be partnered to actually be making a living. Lord knows that much for me. Ice and Fire does have some really nice dragon models. Yeah, they tend a lot of them tend to be too high poly, I think is the best way for me to put it. Though, like with various oddities, I try to stay fairly close to vanilla kind of scalings and models and whatnot, which means that things fit in more. But a lot of things go so many cubes, so high quality so high resolution textures, that kind of thing, and it makes it stick out like a sore thumb to me. Like if somebody hadn't played Minecraft in like a year and then you gave them Minecraft plus various oddities, I want it to be very difficult for them to tell where the end is, where like the separation is. You just have to have really generous viewers to make a living. Yeah, it's quality over quantity, Pura. Let me... well, can you close that out? Don't need this open anymore. When it decides to close, thank you, yes, good. Where's Glimpse? I don't know what's caused the Minecraft website to keep changing itself to Japanese. Oh, Wonder what my reaction would be if I got inundated with 1,000 viewers. Bewilderment? At the very least. I would definitely be putting out a call to my, like, chat mods, because that's going to be a nightmare. Oh boy. Okay, so here is our texture for blue whale. It's relatively simplistic, but it looks nice. But we need additional textures. Close to Scram? Yeah, exactly. God, imagine that though. Ooh. Okay, open this too, thank you. Not quite. Close. Close, but no sugar. And there is the mapping. Now, these are texture files that we use to just apply to an entity to figure out which part goes where. They allow us to actually identify which portions of the body of the actual model are actually related to the texture. So, in our case, let's start with... we've got the blue whale. Let's see if we can't make a sperm whale. We commence chuckling, I'm sure. This might be the only mod that includes a texture file known as whale sperm. Yep. And let's... actually, I need to refresh that first. Okay, let's go into our test world and we'll create a whale that we know is a sperm whale, which is type 2. Type 2 dive whaleless. Suddenly the mod is 18 plus and very confusing. Hey. Whales are very large, as you can imagine. Oh, there's Jimmy. So underground. I do need to overhaul how you make jimmies. I need to make sure that that works. Is it breed? I can't recall. What's the value? Type, I think. Yes, type. I think there's a 0. Yes, it should just be the blue whale. So there's the blue whale right there. Which way am I facing here? X, okay. Okay, so there's our whales. And they're pretty honking big. As you might have guessed. I don't know why that one's rainbow. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Let's have a look at that. Oh, wait, no, it's because that's the sperm whale texture currently. That's why that's why that one's in rainbow. But yeah. They're meant to be big. Pride whale for the win? Oh yeah. And could have sworn I'd made these guys like multi-parts, but apparently not. Maybe I took that code out more recently. No, they have those parts. Interesting. Oh, but it looks like those parts aren't actually referenced in their code. Nope, it only is. Weird. Huh. Oh, right, of course, their parts aren't updating because they're currently no AI, they're only updates on no AI. Oh, yeah, okay, right, now I know why that's being weird. But yeah, they're a multi-part entity, which means they're much longer than they are wider. Can't wait for whale dimension. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how many people just go full-on Jonah. But okay, so, here's our whale. Now we need to try and make it look like a sperm whale. Can I put something like reefbacks? I don't know what a reefback is. I have even less idea what a reefback is, having just googled it. But anyways. Okay. So let's start with the things that are pretty much consistent between them. Their tails are largely the same shape as the blue whales. Most of them is actually. It's mainly the head, the front section, because their head is... Their eyes are further back and lower, and then they have a smaller kind of mouth like that. There's the wrong layer, that's why. So if we overwrite sperm whale like that, reboot that, F3 and T. If you're looking for horror games that don't rely on jumps and startles, Subnautica is effectively a survival horror. Give or take. Okay, so what we want to do for this, first off, I think, is actually just change the coloration, because sperm whales are significantly closer to black in their coloration and as such. And then we mostly want to move their mouth, instead of being here, to be more along the bottom layer, and just have a piece that actually covers that. And that will pretty much give it, they'll pretty much give it the right looks, I think. Do we want that sort of like line running along them? Like we've got there. Should we move that? Probably not. They look fairly homogeneous going along there. Yeah, pretty dark. Yeah, Feisty Catodon. There you go. What if box? More or less, I guess. Their eyes are also way closer to their actual, like, fins, so in theory I can move the eye back to here. Like, put it about there, maybe? Well, let's tinker and have a look. So let's start by... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer, that's why. Wrong layer! Every artist's worst nightmare. Yeah, that should be a decent start. Obviously, I want to fix this up quite a bit, but it's a start. I don't generally like doing this, but yeah. Friends always ask me why I use as few layers as possible. The answer is always to avoid wrong layer. Okay. Now the jaws on these things don't move. At least I don't think I coded that. But, you know, it's a start. Worse is when you line on your sketch layer. Oh yeah. God help you then. I feel like I probably need to make it so that these things don't just wink out of existence when you're not rendering their main hitbox. I do important filler coloring on the background layer. Oof, yeah. I wonder if you ever saw whales on your travels. You went all over the world. Okay, so that we pretty much want to have most of the way around there. We also want to have an actual like point here underneath that is the jaw, because if we look at them, they have basically an underhanging mouth as opposed to like one that's going up the sides like the blue whale. But we'll get to that in about 10 minutes. Yeah. And welcome back, everybody, to the final hour of our stream tonight. So, we are currently trying to model the sperm whale, which will then give us 50% coverage, as it were, on our different breeds of whale. We already have the blue whale, which will probably be very, very similar in appearance to the baleen whale. And over here, we're going to have this whale skeleton, which I don't know how much that's going to show up, but it's useful to have, I guess. The whale skeleton probably shouldn't A, spawn naturally, or B, actually have an interior, because you can literally see the interior at that point. But we will be making use of these three at the very least. So, I might have just included whale skeletons because they're really freaking aesthetic and I love the appearance of them, but whatnot. Anyways, so yeah, we are currently working on this fellow and chap. And for that, we need to actually start, like, colouring and such. And let me just increase that brush size. There we go. So just starting out by removing the mouth, which, removing the mouth or destroying the brain, whichever comes first, I guess. Kindly do not remove the whale brain. Just, it's impolite, is what I'm saying. Let's move that down, I think, to about there. And just have a look-see at that. Necromancer gets a hold of a whale corpse. That'd be, like... I feel like it's pretty, like, Banff to ride into, like, a server meeting or whatnot on a whale, just by writ, but I feel like it's especially so if you do it on a skeletonized whale. Instead of summoning a whale and a necromancer just a necromancer just summons in a whale skeleton. I mean, that or a whale zombie. Both of those work. Zombie? Drown? That's a weird mixture of, like, fantasy concepts logic and Minecraft logic, because I guess if a whale was reanimated as a zombie, they would become a drowned whale. Which is a weird concept. I mean, whales do need to breathe air, so I guess strictly speaking they can drown. That's a weird thing to realize. Huh, do I need to add, like, do I need to add a zombie and a, like, drowned whale texture? If I add an actual, like, animated whale skeleton, it'll probably just be its own thing, rather than that. Yeah, that's an odd thing to come to come to a conclusion of. Well. Okay, so that's looking a bit more distinct. I feel like it needs to be darker, but we'll focus on this for right now. Move that a little bit lower, and let's try and add in our mouth. Now, sperm whales do not have the same kind of mouth structure as blue and baleen whales. As we can see here, they actually have, like, teeth. Sperm whales are probably what Moby Dick, like, was modeled after. Do drowned whales go boom? I don't know. Drowned whale with the spawn rate of a spider jockey. Maybe. Drowned whale sounds hella with the blue eyes and the kelp attached. It just rises from, like, it only spawns in deep ocean biomes, and, like, it stays right near the bottom unless you're in a boat directly above it, and then it just, like, surfaces. Whoa. I feel like for that point I would really need to be at, like, I would need to factor in pitch, because most mobs, at least in 1.12, don't have, like, a concept of rendering with pitch. Like, players, for instance, when they're swimming in 1.15, they'll change pitch quite happily, but most things are just, like, flat, 0 pitch, and then they just change yaw for the most part. I feel like if I was gonna have like a whale surface from beneath you, like that, in that kind of terrifying image, that would have to be like a pitch thing as well. Oof. But yeah, that is an image and a half, to say the least. I wonder if we should add some scarring near the front here. This scarring, by the way, frequently comes from things that the sperm whale tries to eat. They're very, very long. They have a very long-standing and recognized kind of rivalry, let's say, with giant squid, to the point that they see them a lot more often than humankind does. Giant squid, and especially colossal squid, are basically unheard of in human civilization. We know they exist, but getting one is extremely hard, especially getting one alive for study. I don't know if we even have gotten live ones for study in some cases. But they are eaten, or try to eat, one of the two, we're not entirely certain which, sperm whales. So sperm whales will dive into the very deep points where these squids are, and then these scratch marks are from the tentacles of those squids. And you will frequently find, like, pieces of those things just embedded in their skin and whatnot. And if you find a dead sperm whale and check its stomach, you will find generally a lot of beaks for really big squid. So, yeah. Dead whale corpses go boom? Yes, that also happens. So I guess we need to have, like, an inner layer on the stomach region that's, like, partially exposed, like ribs. Like, I don't know, I guess, like, this is, either this was a whale body that exploded, or it was a xenomorph. Either way, I'm terrified. Giant and colossal squid have sharp bits on their suckers. Yeah, to, like, claw as well as, like, suck. But anyways, I digress. So we need to add a mouth here. That is most of the width, I say, about this. So let's just actually get that. And now I need to remember which way up this goes. So let's add a new layer above here, just so I can actually like keep tabs on it. Okay, so if I get this wrong, I can just move it. Xenomorph dragon. I know there's artwork of that. I know for a fact there is artwork of that. The zoology nerd in you is delighted that I'm taking diet and etc. into their appearance. It's just because I want this to be like, actually looks like a sperm whale. Okay, that is the correct orientation for this. Good. But like that's just like actual information that I know is like that's where this scarring will tend, like a lot of it at least tends to come from. It's from engagements whilst they're trying to feed. Firefly Society? Hey! Hey, Firefly. Let's see, there's chiefly greys in there. So if we use that, we can actually just probably make this a bit easier on ourselves. I have a relatively, like, rectangular mouth, which is interesting. It's like there is like a taper at the front of it, but it's mostly actually just like 90 degrees near enough. They're pretty perfect for inclusion in a cubic game, is what I'm saying. God, should white whales like Moby Dick be a rarity? Should they be a thing that happens occasionally? An interesting concept. Like an albino version of the sperm whale occasionally turns up. Is that something that we'd like to see? so that the mouth sticks out a bit better. Say the line? What line? From hell's heart I stab at thee? What line am I supposed to say? I grin at thee? Is it? Is it I grin? It's one was I stab. Grin at thee, oh grinning whale. Huh. Sperm whales are pretty perfectly colored for deep ocean. Yeah. Yeah, a drowned whale. Like, if we ever get to the point of actually having this mod updated for 1.15, I definitely need to include drowned whales. I don't know how frequently those would spawn, but by gods, would that be a glorious day to encounter. Add the impression that there's like teeth around here. Looks a bit weird under this particular context, but let's see how that looks. You're a nerd and I love it? Well, good to know. Yeah, that's starting to look better. I would actually make these, like, jaws move. That's something I absolutely have the capacity for. But it's a matter of, like, the sheer size of them means that unless the center of rotation for this cube here is pretty weird, then what ends up happening when they open their jaw is just that it ends up clipping with the rest of their head. Like, they actually don't have very much room to move in here, if you can see it. Like, it's not even the width of my own head, even for something this big. So, having them actually open mouths like that is troublesome, modeling-wise. Okay, I think that looks pretty good right there. So let's do some modeling on this one, on the actual, like, mouth itself. Does that push too far? No, I don't think so. It would be interesting if Minecraft had actual whales just in vanilla. Like, speaking as somebody who has only just started playing in 1.15, that would be really fascinating to see. That looks a bit too orderly to me. Obviously we need more detail on the head, but if we can at least get the mouth looking distinct. I'm liking that. I feel like it needs to be a bit shorter, because if we look at actual like sperm whales, it isn't like the full length of their head. It's like it's pretty distinct like level of it. It's soft Milo hours. Oh, thank you for that much. Thank you very much. Means a lot, especially in this time period. I think reduce this a couple of pixels. Okay, and just add a bit of noise here. Later on we can actually add some scarring to this as well. Should look pretty sweet. Unrelated to trans rights. Oh yeah. I think I mentioned on Twitter a while back that I'm never quite sure if like hatred and stuff directed at me qualifies as transphobia, or if it's something specific to GNC people. And the response I got from that was that that GNC is at least sufficiently proximal to trans issues. So I guess I qualify as trans, apparently. If anybody knows better on that subject, by all means inform me before I start co-opting something. Related to gender fluid rights. Oh yeah. Just all the rights, all of them. Hear that? You hear that? Straight cis white dudes, we're coming for your rights. I joke. For the love of God, I joke. Just in case this ends up in somebody's like Twitch streamer cancel compilation. Trans just means doesn't identify with assigned gender. See, that's the complicated part of being GNC, which is that I do identify with my assigned gender, just not with how it's supposed to look. That's the confusion. Okay, well, they definitely look distinct, don't they? So the eye is lower and the mouth is way smaller. Of course, the blue whale and the baleen whale both tend to survive on plankton, which is why they have such huge mouths, because to support something of that size, you need a lot of plankton. So their mouths basically function like sea shovels, or like fishing nets. Just to like shovel all that plankton into one place. So you can call it transphobia since it uses the same rhetoric. And so I've used that argument with my brother. Oh, hey Jimmy. Somewhere. Jimmy is here apparently. But like my brother is like, but you're not trans, or you don't identify as trans at the very least. I'd forgotten I had a blowhole on top of you. Huh. Single pixel blowhole. Which is probably, that single pixel is probably like, yeah, that's most of the size of my entire body. Oh boy, yeah, you guys are good scales. Remember correctly that trans can also use the non-binary label if they want it. Theoretically, yeah. As far as I'm aware. I don't speak for the community. I just speak from what I know of myself, for what I know. So, bleh. Can we do the baleen whale in half an hour? That's a question. Do we think we've done enough to properly distinguish the sperm whale here? What do we think? Are the fins different on them at all? No, because their fins are one cube. The tail fins can be distinct, but their actual, like, main body fins, no. That's just a modeling thing. Think sperm is goats? Power Upon Master 2020. Oh, the tail fins. Looking at Guys, could you work with me here, please? Thank you. Looking at these ones are identical. Looking at actual like tail fins from sperm whales versus blue whales, they're not very different, really. Like if we have a look at blue whale. Somebody show me some fin. Yeah, these ones are a bit more curled, maybe. But that's not really reflected in this texture to begin with anyways. So, not that much. Blowhole for the sperm whale is where? I mean, whomst knows. They're very dark bodied. It's hard to say exactly, but presumably the same place. Not what I meant and you know it. I mean, of course I know it, but that's what it means to take something out of context for jokes. Anyways. Let's see if we can't get something for the baleen whale. And the baleen whales are fun looking. Like, just look at that happy boy. Look at that. Just, yeah, they're the fishing nets of nature, basically. Whale tail fins tend to be similar, most because that's just the ideal shape, quote-unquote, to propel a gargantuan creature through the ocean. Yep! Early baleen whales were small like today's dolphins, but heard low frequencies from their giant descendants. Neat. But okay, right. Need a new texture in here. Let's clone blue whales for this. So these guys are going to be pretty much identical. We'll probably change the blue hue a fair bit. Blue whales are a baleen. They're a type of baleen. Or at least they're very similarly related. I'm 100% certain. Sperm whales are what if box. Baleen whales are what if all mouth. Yeah, I guess. He looked like he make foghorn noise. Yeah. Like, if there was any creature that you were actually likely to get swallowed by, probably baleens. Baleen describe the kind of teeth they have. True, yeah. It's these, like, rows along here. So let's have a look here. Like, this is... I think that's strictly speaking a humpback whale? I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, humpback whale I think is what I meant when I selected this one to be added to the breeds. Which is still like grump, kind of. Just built-in grump face. Resting grump face, I guess we call that. They were also kept small by a certain shark back then. I don't know what you mean. Could it possibly be Megalodon? Which, by the way, is definitely dead. Yeah, humpback whale. So we will, when we say, like, baleen here, we'll just mean, like, humpback. I guess. So let's create ourselves a layer here for details that we don't want to be changing color. Like at the eyes. And I think everything else there can pretty much stay as is. Okay, let's grab a piece of the mouths though, just so we have that. As like color reference for later. Biggest thing whales can swallow is a grapefruit. Interesting, because I know they swallow heavier things. Okay, want to duplicate that. There you are. Yeah, we can accomplish a lot of what we're looking for here by just changing saturations and whatnot. let's get pretty dark for that one. And then with this one, let's get pretty bright. It's probably better to actually use contrast here. Okay. And now we can mostly just modify the white layer, and that will allow us to isolate it to certain parts. Okay, can I progress the Witch Pact in the current borrowed version? If not, can I trigger the Changeling event? You should be able to. The quest isn't 100% fleshed out, but I can have a look at the actual config for it. See, defaults, which I don't think there's an impossible. No, it's just like Killer Vex, and that's basically it. But it does not have an end game written in here, so consequently it won't trigger that. But it is fully set up so you can config it, so. Wait a second, said Purra. What do you mean? One that swallowed Jonah was probably a whale shark? Whale sharks are pretty hefty. Like, yeah, this is from Finding Nemo, but cute. Honestly, not that far off reality. Yeah, there he is. They're also not that, like, actually big. Whale shark adorable? Yeah. Let's see, it's pretty much all gone by the upper lip, so... Testing on single player right now? Oh, okay. Thank you for thank you for your data, I guess that'd be the phrase. No, not whitelisted yet. Oh, okay. I can dig that out for later. Sorry. I feel like there's a better way to figure this out. I also feel like I should have cloned and actually just had regular teeth. Nope, you should not be there. Why do you insist on being over there? Come on. Behave. Thank you. Hey, Dusty. the mouths. Now where is the eraser on this? There you are. Just trying to provide essentially a little bit of transparency at the edging here. So it looks a bit more like an actual gradient. Is it bad, or is it telling that you don't trust Dusty around Warlock pacts? I mean, at the very least, only really one of them is theoretically accessible, and we don't actually have the Witch Patrons spawning anywhere right now, so even then. So this resembles Dodge and Burn, but it's significantly keeping a lot more detail than that. That said, I am probably going to have to posterize this just to make sure that we have appropriate amounts of color detail. Okay, so the sides and the undersides of the flippers there need to be pretty dark. Good start. Definitely some humpback resemblance there. Obviously the shape of the mouth I think needs to be different, needs to curve up a lot more. So it just should be more like that, I guess. But it's a start. Okay, top side wants to be completely black, so we know that much. What color are humpback whale tails? Fully black by that point. Okay. Been here, you've just been busy. Oh. Definitely a lot in common with the sperm whale over here, but not staying that way. And now I need to figure out which side of these, which point of these fins is actually the top, as it were. Well, that's the back. Which I think means that's the top side. Humpback whales are your favourites, they're migratory? Oh, neat. I don't expect extremely high realism, like, AI from these things. Just calling in a warning there. Yeah, the color diversity here is way too high for the moment. On the right screen? Yeah. Spend the winter around Hawaii and summer around Alaska. Neat. Not expecting realistic AI or just input dumping. Yeah, but imagine if I did do that. And whoops. Somehow I still managed to get that upside down. Huh. Well, at least that's relatively easy to fix. Did I get the ends right? Are the ends black? Yes. Got that going for me, at least. Looks like they're holding fins. Yeah. Just 4 whales holding hands. That's better. Okay, see what I can do about these sides. About how far down their bodies would we say that they end up being fully black? I want to say about 60% or so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 60% of 8 would be about 6 actually. 5 or 6. See, this is why I had you guys on the actual, like, in-game view, because it's significantly more interesting than watching this. I don't know why I have an arrow in my inventory. It must have been random junk at some point. Probably the underbelly does want to be a bit white, just so that actually joins up properly. The top wants to be black so that the top sides of it where they intersect actually joins up in color. But the bottom wants to be white for the same reason. Which gives a better sensation of continuity. And I think we determined that by this point they should be completely black. Just increase the hardness on this. Sorry, I'm a little bit non-responsive at the moment. Just trying to get this done quick. Yeah, there we go. That's starting to take shape a bit better. Obviously, very much resembles its neighbor, but it's because I haven't changed much in the way. Like, there isn't much morphological difference here. So we have one layer here that is the dark, and we have one layer that's the white. And we are just trying to smoothly join them. As smoothly as we can at the very least. And then later on I can adjust the shape of the mouth and they'll hopefully that'll give us a decent looking humpback whale texture. Obviously, the fact that I'm using the exact same model for all of these species means that these are probably more breeds, I guess, than actual, like, species. But, you know, we're working on it. Yeah, that's looking nice. Definitely look like more than just a color variation right there, for the most part. Remember there's some mottling in that as well. It's not pure white. I'm not exactly sure why humpback whales have this coloration. Purr, if you happen to know in chat, let me know. I feel like you need to be at a very specific depth for white on the bottom and black on the top to be useful coloration. Or it says camouflage. Well, I thought as much, but... Black, they blend in with the ocean. From below, they look like clouds. Yeah, but I feel like you need to be... For black to feel like ocean, it has to be pretty deep, relatively speaking. Whereas white, you need to be relatively close. Like, to see clouds underwater, you need to be, like, pretty close to the surface, I'd have thought. Should be nearly done, for at least this past. Mid-ocean sea dwellers. They're doing their best. That's also why sperm whales are pretty uniformly dark grey as they hunt in deep ocean. Yeah. Why is to help them avoid predators while they're breathing? I guess maybe. That looks pretty nice. I think we need to make it a bit darker near the end there. But we're getting there. I think that's the end that we want. I'm not 100% on this. Let's find out. Always briefly horrified at the concept that whales have predators. Yeah, that... yeah. Fun fact, so do humans. Our predators are just more opportunistic. We tend to make ourselves not worth the bother. Some dragons are prey animals? Human predators include anything that has teeth, claws, and an appetite. Teeth, claws, appetite. I think the texture is basically done. So we're just going to blend in these areas a bit. Gonna do our blend in. Somehow this became a beauty stream. A whale-based beauty stream. And then we will merge etch the layers, and then we will posterize to reduce the amount of variation going on here. Okay. Merging visible layers. And posterize. Just increase the number of colors we want. Until we get something that looks decent. I like that. Maybe we should have done that. We maybe should have posterized on the baleen layer as well first. That's a bit better. There we go. Just so it's not completely occupying all of the new levels we had. Feels like we've lost a lot of detail on the back of it, though. I also feel like the black shouldn't actually be black, it should have like a slight bluish tone to it. Just enough that you can see it. Alright. Merge again. In general, most larger ocean creatures are more blue-gray than black-gray, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think I just leave it like this for now and actually just save it as layers. So I can modify it later. Which means that our baleen whales end up looking something like... that. Sort of a cross between the blue and the sperm, but... Imagine that swimming around the Minecraft oceans. And then this will be a skeleton. Because why not, I guess. But yeah, I think needs to curve more sharply upwards here. But I can fix that later on. So yay! A bunch of good whale boys. I don't actually think I can get, I can just get an angle where I can see all of their eyes. There we go. Okay. That's all I've got for tonight, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed. And let me see. There's definitely somebody running, I think, right now that I want to actually raid. So one moment. I'll just grab that information. Because I do not remember A, what the, like, account is, and B, how to raid anybody. Because I've never had to do that. Slash raid channel. Okay, thank you. Right, well, slash raid Safer of Tier. Hopefully, cannot raid apparently. Blast. Oh well, that was like an hour ago, so they might have given up. But they were raising some money for the bail fund, so they were worth checking out. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. So hope you've all enjoyed. And their next stream should be this coming Thursday. We're working out some stuff for Dungeons & Dragon Hats on Wednesdays. Don't worry, that's coming up soon, but not this week. But on Thursday we have some more Monster Hunter World at 9, and then on Friday we have some more Bioshock on Friday night for 9, and we should have some regular edition, as it were, Dungeons & Dragon Hats 7 on Saturday, followed by the Carousel at 9, and we'll be back for more stuffs with this on Tuesday, probably working on actually getting actual whale blocks going for the Dimension. But other than that, I do make videos at youtube.com/comic, and everything I do is powered by people like you at Patreon, at patreon.com/lying. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all as ever next time.